Hello and welcome, lovely Libra. I've got your February 2024 horoscope. If you find this useful, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. That would be fabulous. Firstly, what I'm going to do is draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. Then we'll have a look at your horoscope for February in depth. Here it is. But firstly, the cards. Libra, honeycomb. Oh, I haven't had honeycomb for 1,000 years, it seems. Like a violet crumble or something like that. Wow. Honeycomb. So it's like all of these little sort of networks going everywhere in your life. I feel like you're growing your networks in some regard. Maybe there's more socializing going on. There's nothing here in your 11th house. However, down here in the 5th house, there is a really big party going on. So that's probably something to do with the honeycomb that I'm seeing. This is socializing, leisure and pleasure, having fun, all that sort of thing. Creativity. Your creativity is about to blossom, and things are sort of like your life direction. I feel like it's being fine-tuned or tweaked. And it could be in some respects you're about to even change direction on a few things. Not major life decisions, but enough to make things interesting. The first card that comes out for you is the Hermit. So it's important to have enough time alone. You may find yourself being pulled away by other people. Do this, do that. Meetings, as I said, going out having fun and that sort of thing. But having time alone is really important, really critical. You do have the full moon here in your 12th house, bit of turbulence underneath in your subconscious that you should probably spend some considerable time alone having a look at it. This is a major arcana card, so it's very important. It's likely to go on for some months, even though your moon, the full moon, will only be here for a very short period of time, 2.5 to 3.5 days. However, it's important because what you learn during this time, you can then go on to teach other people about whatever it is that you learn. If you're here on social media or on YouTube, for example, you might come up with some really brilliant ideas for videos. I get good ideas sometimes. I must write them down. I never do. and I think, oh, I should do that. But it's always things that happen that drag me away from YouTube these days. So that's pretty important. Now, the second half of the month, what do I see for February for Leo? It's like you have been a little bit isolationist. I don't think it's just to do in February. I think this has probably been going on for some time, and it runs into February. But it's like, what I'm seeing is it's like you're deep down in the ground and you come across a ladder, and now you're climbing up out of the pits. You're coming to fuller awareness, greater insight, climbing out of the earth, climbing out of the hole, and you can move forward again with your life. So you might have felt like you were on hold or stuck in some way, and just down. Some of you may have felt like you were down in the pits of hell, down in the earth, and there might have been a lot of focus on your physical body. Maybe it was some ill health or something like that was taking up a lot of your time and energy. And you do have Neptune here in your 6th house. Neptune here can bring ill health, especially around viruses and infections, but also like a cloudy head, not being able to think straight, feeling very sort of fragmented. Shattered is the word that actually comes into my mind. This will be here until March 2025, so it's another year, but it's been in this house. It's since about 2012, just off the top of my head. So it's been here for 12 years or so. So next year there is a really big change when it goes into Aries, moving from Pisces into Aries, and these two signs are like opposite cheese and chalk, and so you will really feel it, I would think. Even though it's a background planet, a transpersonal planet, moving into Aries, into your house of relationships, if you are starting a new relationship after March next year, I would be very careful, because Neptune does give you rose-coloured glasses around relationships, but it also gives you a very strong spiritual connection with someone as well. Also, Saturn here in your 6th house, also restricting your movement, your everyday movement in some way, or perhaps your health, or maybe you've been working from home and not going out very much. That's going to change soon. Saturn is in each house for about 2.5 years. I don't know why. That's why, because it says 6 there. What come into my head was 6.5 years, which is not right. I know it's 2.5 years. And it's only 20% through, so, or something. Anyway, it's still got a fair while. It's still got 18 months or something to be in this house, so it's still got a fair while. But Mercury and Sun will be there, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's get on with the card. I want to go back, and we'll take that one. It's all about the money, honey, organising your money. This could be paying bills, people asking you for money. Maybe you give somebody a loan. Children might be asking you for money. But getting your paperwork up to date. It actually, when it was like that, and I looked at it like that, I got a sense of relief around it. So when I turned it over, I was a little bit surprised to see this card. But maybe organising your finances does give you a sense of relief. It's like a lightness that I can feel. Not quite happiness, but contentment, or like being organised feels good. A sense of achievement to get your paperwork up to date. That's what I need to do. I'm a Libran, so hopefully I'll be able to do it. All right, bear those 2 cards in mind. This one is very important and will last for some considerable time, some months, the Hermit card. Let's make this bigger. So, first thing to note, this wide T-square here, it literally only lasts for a few hours on the 1st of February. I wouldn't normally put it in, but because it is the first day of the month, it's like a mini template for the month. Anything that's not working properly might go on longer. So it's important to try and rectify any things that are not working properly. You've got the moon in your 2nd house and Jupiter here in your shared resources, but they're opposing each other. So 2nd house can be like personal finances. Jupiter here is to do with shared finances or intimacy. So you might have to pay out money to other people that you share something with. Maybe they're contractors, maybe it's taxes, or it's like you owe some money to someone, you have to pay it out. And it's opposite, so it's some difficulty. So there could be things that are not tallying up properly, so you need to check everything to make sure there's no mistakes. But both the moon and Jupiter are funneling their energies towards Pluto here, and this is all about your creativity. And here in Aquarius, it could be something tied up with technology or humanitarianism. It could be charities that you're dealing with. Could be maybe socialising with people, meeting people, leisure and pleasure, fun in the sun, but technology is involved in some way. And sometimes in Aquarius, there's like a little bit of detachment. But Aquarius is an air sign, and so it's a thinking person. Somebody who's thinking and considering everything, can be an intelligent person involved. And we have all of these planets going into Aquarius. So it's also your inner child and trying to bring happiness to your inner child through leisure and pleasure. So there we have Mercury on the 5th or the 6th if you're in Australia or New Zealand, Mars on the 13th or the 14th, Venus on the 16th or the 17th, and the new moon in Aquarius on the 9th or the 10th if you're in Australia or New Zealand. So it's a really big party with a lot of planetary energy and a big focus on your creativity, getting stuff done, but getting it done in a very modern, contemporary way. It's not old-fashioned. It's tied up with sites, perhaps, as well as technology and/or technology. So you might be working a lot online to get your creativity out to the public. So there's a little bit of like rebelliousness or innovation because Pluto here can sometimes cause the end of something, so that can be born again in a new frame and a new framework. So it could be like rebelliousness. Aquarius is actually ruled by Uranus, which is a very rebellious, unpredictable, volatile type of planet, and it brings those qualities into your 5th house. So something unexpected to do with your creativity, for example. The Sun is in Pisces the 18th or the 19th as well, just here. This is your everyday work. Things are going swimmingly. You could be feeling quite comfortable with your work routine, with your health and your well-being. There might be some improvement. You could even feel happy. When the Sun does move into your 6th house, as it approaches, it will become conjunct Saturn. Saturn brings the limitations and the restrictions around your health or well-being, work or everyday habits. And with those restrictions, the way to deal with them is to organise yourself properly, timing and scheduling, and say, I'm just going to walk at 7 a.m. every morning. Saturn loves that. If you get into a routine, it doesn't like unpredictable things. It loves routine. So if you get into a routine, that's how you can best work with Saturn. Be cautious. It's not the time for bungee jumping, because Saturn doesn't like unnecessary risk. Saturn wants you to be cautious and maybe walk instead of run and things like that. Then we have True Node conjuncting Chiron on the 19th or the 20th here. There's some sort of wounding perhaps around the notion of committed relationship, and it's your destiny that relationships, whether they be business or personal, that whatever wounding it is, whatever pain or suffering there has been, it's like it's bringing your attention to it, and that's so that a healing can take place. So you might become aware of something very deep that could be healed in February, and you'll be reminded of this. So spend some time alone to really go over your aches and pains in regard to committed relationships. We've all got them. Then we have Mercury moving into Pisces as well here, bringing more communications, more brilliant ideas. You're just getting this real changing vibe around you. You could feel if you start walking every day, for example. But there's like a sense of youthfulness and more energy around you. This is a bit exciting because I'm a Libra, you see. But I haven't thought about this because I haven't had time. But it just occurs to me now, and I can feel it, a sense of vitality that you haven't had for a fair while. So that's really good news. That's the 23rd or the 24th for Aussies and Kiwis. Then the full moon is in Virgo on the 24th or the 25th over here in your subconscious, stirring things up. You could have some very interesting dreams. You could have some strange flashes in the daytime if you're just standing there washing up or being a bit empty-headed. It's good to be empty-headed sometimes, hopefully not with money. But if you're doing a routine type job, washing up, vacuuming, or that's probably too noisy, but sweeping the floor or just getting on with your daily tidying and things like that, sometimes you can get really good flashes of insight. So the full moon's down there in your subconscious, dredging everything up. Watch your dreams. You might have some big dreams as well. And again, that comes back to this Hermit card, spending time alone. I feel, lovely Libra, you're going to get a lot accomplished, not only on the physical level, but also on the spiritual level this month, and some twists and turns to make life interesting. So I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that some fine-tuning of your life direction. It feels a bit exciting, actually. So that's good news. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. Leave a comment and a like, that would be fabulous. And subscribe and be alive. Have a very wonderful month, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks and bye for now.